Anytime you lose, it's certainly disappointing. I give Georgia a lot of credit. They've got a good football team, and they showed up and they played very well. For us, the margin of error was small, and we didn't take advantage of a couple opportunities we had early. And when we did that, we got behind, and we never could claw ourselves back into the game. It was kind of a tale of two halves. The first half, we had a hard time getting them slowed down, and in the third quarter, we kind of self-destructed offensively, turning the ball over. So, but you have to give, like I said, I give them credit. They came in here and they did what they had to do. I thought their kids played hard, and they won the game.
Defensively, did it look more like Georgia was just better physically from your defensive standpoint? Better physically or faster, or were you guys just out of position?
You're talking about Georgia's offense against our defense? Yeah. I think they did a nice job protecting their quarterback. We didn't get to him much. And, we'll have to look at the tape. Anytime guys get that open at times, we turned a couple guys loose in coverage, especially crossers. A couple times they just beat us. I mean, they ran a post corner and beat us down on the goal line with a post corner move. And the actual play where the tight end caught the touchdown in the back of the end zone in the third quarter, we called the play. We knew the play, and they still completed. So you got to give them credit for that. The bottom line is they made plays when they had to.
How would you evaluate St. John's play and bringing him in, and do you regret not putting him in sooner, or was that the right time to put him in?
No, I mean, Tevin Washington has been our quarterback all year. And, I'm excited about St. John. I think he brings some things to the game, but, I'm not it's not fair to evaluate him on the 2 series he got to play in that game.
Could you explain or talk about the design of the first play and how it went, and then just if you think it had much of an impact ultimately on the game?
Well, it's a play we've worked on all year. It's just a reverse pass, and it went about as planned, except we didn't complete it. We had some guys open, I think, and you got to execute those things. And it's one play in the game. It certainly didn't determine the outcome of the game.
It became clear pretty quickly that Georgia, without Isaiah Crowell, was not going to do what it has done most of the year and put more on Aaron Murray throwing the ball. How much did that, go against what you had planned for defensively?
Well, not really. I mean, we game planned for whatever. I was just trying to look. I mean, they ran the ball 28 times out of 57 plays. That's about half the time. Now, it got a little heavy towards the end, but they were having much more success throwing it than they were running it. I don't know that was, so much by design. You kind of do what you're having success with. I'm sure if they were gashing us running the ball, they would have run the ball. Although they ran it pretty good on us that last drive in the end there. They were trying to run out the clock.
It seemed like field position was kind of a problem, particularly in the first half. You guys started most of your drives either at the 20 or inside your own 10.
Yeah, well, they've got a really good kicking game. I mean, both those kickers, they just kind of rotated them, and they both banged it 6 yards deep in the end zone on kickoffs. And the punter hit some great punts, pinned us down. They didn't punt in the first half, but in the second half, he pinned us inside the 10 twice. And the field position game was not as favorable as you would have liked. We actually started the game out getting a pretty good punt and pinning them back. But they kind of flipped the field on us, even with the interception we got. It ended up back on our end.
Paul, you mentioned the opening play. It was there, just didn't execute. Then at the end of the first half, you call the timeout. It kind of goes against you. Did you just feel at that point it was just one of those days, whatever you tried just wasn't going to work?
Yeah, it's, it just seems like sometimes that's the way it goes. And there's nothing you do about it, and sometimes it goes that way. I've plenty of times seen where you call timeout and the guy makes the field goal and they have to kick it again. And, trust me, had I known they would have had a bad snap, I wouldn't have called timeout.
There were stretches in the game where Sims really started to finish his runs really well. Were you still happy with the B-back production for today?
Do what? I'm
The
sorry?
B-back production for today.
Yeah, I don't know what he ended up with. I thought David Sims played really hard. I mean, he made some really nice runs. He had a nice run on the goal line on a touchdown. He had a nice run on a screen pass. I thought David played hard.
Coach, coming out of halftime, you guys were down just one score, and then they returned the opening kickoff, I think, down to the 36. Do you think that did anything because they scored a couple plays later to deflate maybe the morale of the team?
It's not exactly the way you want to start the second half. Guy got outside our contain guy. Our guy couldn't get off that block. It was a good one.
I don't think they punted until like their sixth possession, maybe. I mean, how discouraging is that to see that?
It's deflating. I think it deflates the whole team. The other thing that's deflating is giving up a score before halftime when you score. That's, probably the third or fourth time this year that's happened, where you grind the thing out, you make a fourth down, you go down, you score with a minute left, and boom, they come back and score. And even though it was a field goal, it still changes the momentum and it changes the way things go. But, we tightened up in the third quarter and played better defensively. And then the offense went helter-kelter there with turnovers.
Can you talk about the two interceptions, 7 through? I know one of them, the guy jumped the route. The other one seemed like he just threw the ball where no one was. Was that a broken play, or what happened there?
It wasn't a broken play. I don't know until you look at the tape. I mean, I don't know. And we need to hit some of those plays. I mean, when we're really successful, we hit some of those and stay on the field and get some big plays. I think there was another time, you were talking about the reverse, the first time we ran the play action off the toss, they turned the wheel route loose, and we missed that too down the sideline. It could have been a huge play. So, when you're playing a good team and they're a good football team, you got to hit those. When you get a chance, you got to take advantage of them.
Coach, could you speak a little bit to Roddy Jones's career? I mean, making his 51st all-time start, what he's meant to you in this squad?
Well, Roddy's just a great person. Besides a really good football player and a model student athlete, he's got tons of character. He's got tons of it. He's going to be very successful whatever he decides to do, and he's been a big part of a lot of real positives for Georgia Tech while he's been here. I think both on the field and off the field. And personally, I'll miss him a lot. I mean, he's a great kid.
Two more questions for Coach, please.
Fourth time this rivalry, does it hurt more, or is a loss, a win a win?
No, it hurts every time. I mean, anytime, if you're a competitor and you lose, it hurts. And, you hurt. I hurt myself, but I also hurt for those kids because they wanted to win that game badly. I mean, they wanted to play well and win the game, and you hurt that you couldn't, help them find a way to do it,
The crossing routes that they hurt you on, was that a lapse in the coverage, or what was it that they were doing, or you weren't doing that enabled
Well,
them?
usually if guys are running wide open, it's probably a coverage, yeah. I don't know the specific one you're talking about. They hit a couple of crossers. We'll have to look and see. I think that, and again, with the calls, I'd just be trying to guess without going back and looking at the specific defensive call and seeing what happened on the tape. But, we had trouble covering them, especially in the first half.